Okay, so I do have a kid, so she might make some noise, but hopefully she won't make too much noise. I don't have the right size rings to do the 6 petal, but I do have enough, like the right size to make this the 5 petal. Making them is the exact same, it's just a different amount of petals, and you need different size rings for different size flowers. If you're using the small scales, I get them from Ring Lord, but I found them on Etsy and stuff. If you're using the small, you need 16 gauge 5/16 inch for the 5 petal flower, and if you're wanting to do that 6 petal, it's going to be 16 gauge 3/8 inch. So basically, to start out, you need your supplies. I kind of like set it out ahead of time. I've got my 5 scales. I have 5 open rings, and then this ring right here is completely closed. Okay, let me set this down. Okay. So to start, you're going to want 1 open ring. You're going to put the closed ring onto it, and then you're going to take 2 of your scales and put them on there. Okay. Now we close this ring. Sorry, let me lower this a little bit. That's a little better. Okay. So you're going to hold on to this ring that was the open ring. Put that back, please. Okay, and then you're going to pull out your second scale and just kind of flip it around right behind that first scale. And it's going to put this ring that you just closed kind of in between them right there. Now you're going to want to hold on to them like that because they will fall apart. You want to get another open ring, put it through that original closed ring, and you're going to put it through the second scale. Let me see if I can get this better. I'm going to put it through that second scale right there. And then at this point, you're going to add another scale to the back of it. And we're going to close it. Now after you add the third scale on here, which is this one, it shouldn't fall apart, so you shouldn't have to hold it as careful, but I always hold it careful anyways just to make sure, because it's a pain in the butt to like redo it. So you're going to pull this other scale around to the side just like the first one we did, and then you just flip it around backwards. And you just kind of keep flipping it around until that ring ends up in the middle like we want it to be. Okay, so we're going to take another open ring, put it through the center ring, which is the original closed ring, and we're going to put it through the second scale and the third scale. Wait, no, hang on. Sorry. Take the open ring, put it through the center ring, which is the closed one, and then through the scale that we just added, and then add your new scale. Sorry, I got a little excited and ahead of myself for a minute there. Okay, now we'll close this. Right, and same thing, we're just going to pull this guy out to the side and flip him around backwards. Okay, for the last scale, sometimes it gets a little bit tricky. This one you don't want to add to the back because it's going to make it extremely difficult to get it on there. You're going to want to add it in front of that scale that we just did before. So we're going to take this open ring, put it through the center, put it through the scale that we're adding, which is now in front of the one that we previously did, and then put it through the back of that one. So see, I use the green in front and the black is in the back. Gotta get it in there. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult. Whenever you're having a hard time getting it through the holes right, you can just open your ring a little bit more, and it kind of makes it a little bit more straight, so you can get it in there a little bit better. Which is normally what I have to do on like the last scale whenever I'm closing it completely. But sometimes I have trouble before that. Sorry, my fingers are like really big and they get in the way. If you can't see anything the right way while I'm doing this, just let me know and I can try to redo it again. Or I can just try to do pictures or something. Okay, so once you kind of have that in there, just straighten it out a little bit. Make it to where it kind of like is starting to look like a flower. And then close that ring in between those two. Now, if you can't get them to close all the way, don't worry about it. You can kind of like open your pliers a little bit and just smush them together like that. But I normally move them to the center anyway, so you can't see that opening. Sorry, I had to pause for a second to get on my kid. Okay, my first scale is kind of like messed up a little bit. You see, sometimes it gets stuck while you're going. All you gotta do is kind of wiggle it around a little bit until you get it out of there. If you can't get it unstuck, you can always open that ring to let it loose and then reclose it.